In this video, we're looking at NIS, Nvidia Image Scaling. It's an upscaling technology similar to AMD's FSR. It's actually been available for a while, but they've recently updated it and in theory made it better. So we're going to compare it versus FSR and native resolutions just to see, is it worth fiddling around with in Star Citizen? Let's go. Okay, so quickly, what is NIS? Basically, it allows your game to run at a lower resolution and then it will be upscaled. So you get, in theory, better performance because it's running at a lower resolution, but also the image quality is better than it would have been if it was left at that lower resolution. Basically, Nvidia have said this is a new version of this. It's been around for a while, 2 years, but now they've improved the scaling and sharpening algorithm, and they use a 6-tap filter with 4 directional scaling and adaptive sharpening filters to boost performance. Who knows what that means? There's a few different ways to enable it. One is in the Nvidia control panel. It's in the image scaling here. You can turn it on, and then you also got the ability to adjust the sharpening, and there's an indicator so you know it's working, and that's one way to do it. Another way is in the GeForce experience itself. So if you go into the settings and you've got this image scaling here, you can turn it on, it will do that, and you've got the option to choose what resolution you're upscaling to your. So my monitor is 1440p. I can choose to upscale from any of these resolutions. It will get different performance, and also you've got the sharpening options here. You can also adjust sharpening in game, things like that. And also they've allowed other developers to use this. So lossless scaling we've tested in the past with AMD's FSR technology, basically the same stuff, but this now also uses NIS, and again you can adjust sharpening, things like that. So that's how you can turn it on. This isn't a guide, so go and do some research on how to do that. There's videos out there, but let's get into the image comparison. As part of this new release that Nvidia have done, releasing this image scaling update thing they've done, they've also released this software, Nvidia iCat, which is basically a comparison program. So rather than the one I was using before, I've now got the ability to use video and also compare all these things next to each other. So first of all, this is the scene that we always test, the scene on Area 18 in ArcCorp. We've got the 1080p, the 1440p native, both there, then FSR, and then NIS. And if I click play, you'll see it running through now. You want to see this on as big a monitor as you possibly can. You might be able to see the difference. From what I can see, 1440p obviously looks better than 1080p, but actually both, in this case, the FSR and the NIS are sharper probably than the 1080p. But you might notice with the NIS, the sharpening looks quite significantly different. Part of what they're doing, it seems to add these shadows. So if I move across to the split screen, so first of all, let's just for the sake of it, so you can see, we'll do 1080p versus 1440p. We'll zoom right in on here and click play, and you can, no, this one, we can now, so that's the 1080p image, and then that's the 1440p image. So again, if you look over here at the globe, you see there's less pixelation on the 1440p image, and then let's compare the 1440p to the NSI, and click play again and again. It looks like these kind of dark, shadowy black bits come around most of the thing. So look down here again, by adding the NIS, something to do with what's going on. It does make everything pop a bit, I think, but obviously it's probably not a particularly natural image. So I think looking down here, you might be tempted to say that the 1440p image looks a bit softer than the NIS image, but whether that's preferable or not really just depends on what you're doing. That's definitely got more definition with these kind of shadows that are going around it, but that isn't necessarily what was designed when the people were making this level and doing the graphics. It's a bit more stylized look, I suppose we would say. Let's compare the NIS versus the FSR, and I don't know if there's really much difference between them apart from I think the sharpening and this effect seems to be the most significant difference. In terms of the quality, I think they're probably quite similar. Again, you might say that you even prefer the FSR look. It's a bit more subtle in terms of the upscaling there, but I don't think you could say that there's much difference going on. So yeah, we'll look at performance now. First up in Louisville, you'll see that basically NIS and FSR, effectively they're performing the same. They are not quite as good as 1080p native, but they are significantly better than 1440p native. So it's definitely worth doing, and I think the image improvement over 1080p in this case makes it quite worthwhile. It's the same situation with quantum travel. 1080p native is the best performer, but then FSR and NSI are far behind that. They're basically the same, but then 1440p is a big hit. So what to make of all this? Well, effectively it's doing exactly the same thing as FSR, although Nvidia are claiming it's not exactly the same thing. There's some special secret things going on there. I think it does look slightly different. The sharpening is obviously slightly different. You can fiddle around with that yourself. You can change the sharpening, but yeah, it's good. And if you are looking to get a bit of extra performance out of a lower end GPU, or if you're trying to go up to 4K, maybe from 440p, definitely worth having a go with this. And obviously with this, you've got options within the Nvidia control panel, within GeForce Experience, and also I've tested with lossless scaling today. So you've got different options whether you've got an Nvidia card or not. But yeah, it's definitely worth having a go. So that's probably enough for this one. If you like this sort of technical look at Star Citizen, you can subscribe and like this video. You can also now join the channel and send money over the internet to me. What a wonderful thing. But apart from that, that's enough, and I'll see you soon. Bye.